If you know me, you know me, and if you don't, my name is Jamil. I'm a 20-year-old living life in my own way. And of course, I still go to work such as others do because at the end of the day, I ain't putting money out of my ass. So you do have to live by the government in certain ways. But the thing that I've realized in my life is that I don't make sense to a lot of you. Come on, Hello Kitty, let's be in my video with me. I don't make a sense. I don't make a sense. I don't make a sense. I don't make a sense to a lot of people. And you know why? That's because, well, I realized that in your life, different parts of your life, you meet different kinds of people. And it's like every different aspect of what you like during the, how do I say this? Like, every different part of yourself that you are that you meet these people, it's like you realize that either you're not ready to meet them or they're not ready to meet you. And I've met a lot of people in my life that realize that, well, how do I say this in like a correct way? Like, of course, everyone you meet is for a reason, but the people that you keep is for a reason, and the people that you let go is for a reason. And sometimes the reason that you have to let them go is because, well, simply sometimes they're just not ready to handle you. And I've realized that with a lot of people that I've dealt with, that like sometimes I have to let them go because I'm tired of being like tugged on by a string and just like held on for like holding on for dear life, holding on to nothing, like just like this dream, just this ideology of what like life could look like. But at the end of the day, if we wanted to, we could have made it work. But at the end of the day, a dream is a dream sometimes, and real life is actually real life. You know, there's some things that can actually happen. Like if I said I was gonna make a spaceship tomorrow, you know, that's just a dream in my mind. But like saying something like, oh, I wish I could accomplish what I can before I turn 25, like that's something that's like realism, like it's actually real, you know. And I realized that every time, don't you see, like, depending on where you are in your life and the person that you meet during that time, either things work very well or things just don't work out at all, and you're just simply left there to let them go because you guys or they or you were just not ready for it. And honestly, as much as you try your best, and it's like you need to understand, like sometimes when you meet someone during a certain period, like no matter what you try to do, no matter what you try to say, if they're not ready for you, there's simply no way to make them ready right now. Like prepping, it takes time. Like, and it's not a week or a day. Like sometimes it's months, it's years of fucking work. So sometimes you really have to just let people go, and then let them come back as a better version of themselves. That's if you guys choose to let them come back. Sometimes I'll admit, like if you don't want to wait, you don't have to wait. But potential it exists. But for real though, certain individuals just have to let them go on their own way, on their own journey. You let them like sit there with themselves and actually realize, like, let those words that you've said to them actually marinate, and for them to like form a bigger picture and actually come to a realization like this, my Pookie was right, and maybe I do have to work on myself a little bit. Maybe there is more that I could do. And you know, that's just how it is, because again, when you meet some people in certain times, you need to understand, maybe some of you guys experienced it where like you're talking to someone and you're speaking, but they're not actually picking up what you're putting down. Why? Because they're not in a space or in the mindset right now, or just the person who's meant to listen. They're the one who's, no, sorry, meant to actually hear what you're saying. They're sitting there listening, but they're not actually comprehending the words that are leaving your mouth. They're not ready to hear. They're not. Let them hoes go to the ear doctor and go get their shit checked and come back and try to fuck again. Let them hoes go. It's not meant to be. Or those people where you try to be there for them emotionally, and actually like just be someone there, like be a shoulder for them to lean on, and they keep pushing you away. That's because they're not ready to be emotionally available. They're not ready to show you that side. So yeah, they're gonna keep pushing you away because they're not ready. Like they haven't really grasped. I'm gonna use that. I'll make a direct grasp. They haven't really grasped the feeling and the actual like part of them, like what's going on inside. So it's like when you come there trying to like nurture them and try to talk to them about it, if they haven't fully accepted it or like dealt with it, then like they're not ready to put that on display because it's not even like really finished. Like they're not fully, like they haven't fully accepted it, you know. So you just gotta let them like realize and actually go through something like within, and actually sit there with themselves and realize, like, you know, maybe I should open up a little bit. Maybe like, yeah, this was a bad moment that happened to me, but at the end of the day, like living with regret or like sitting here mad and sad about it, it doesn't change the fact that it happened. And acceptance is accepting what happened and not like letting it linger, letting it bother you anymore. It might not be something that you're like so proud of, but at the end of the day, you have to realize that the past is the past. We cannot change the past, but the future is something we can actually work for, because tomorrow is another chance. But the past, there's nothing that we could do about yesterday. There's nothing that we can do about the day before yesterday. You just have to leave it there. But tomorrow we could work on what we want to do differently. And you know, that is really like depending on surroundings and everything. And those people that you meet. Right now I haven't met a lot of people with the state that I'm in, and I've realized that the people who I have around currently, like, they're not ready for me. Like, the things that I'm saying, like, I just be talking sometimes. I'm just like, yeah, like, no, I'm never gonna speak to you about something like this again, because yeah, you might try to understand, but at the end of the day, unless you've went through certain things in your life, you will never understand it. It's like those who you lose someone and they're saying, oh, I know how you feel, but you've never lost someone in your entire life, so how do you know how they feel? And you know, at the end of the day, everybody grieves differently, everybody mourns differently. So it's like, as much, yeah, you might have lost something, but like, that connection, the bond, it's not always going to be the same. The memories that were shared with that person, it's not the same. So you will never fully truly grasp what someone has gone through. And that's the same thing with just like life and like meaning and like the things that I talk about on this channel. I've realized that I'm not everybody's cup of tea. Why? Because like, you really have to taste a certain type of poison to really start to like something. It's like with liquor, like brown liquor. You got to taste a certain brown liquor to start liking brown liquor, or else you taste the wrong one and you're just gonna be left out not liking it anymore. I'm not saying drink, that's very bad for you, but that's just how I am. Like, I realized that my words, they don't mean a lot to people who don't understand what I'm speaking about. That's because experience is key. If you haven't went through a lot of things to actually understand like someone else's point of view and where someone's coming from, then the words are just going to be words. That's why the thing I like about YouTube is that you either take it or you leave it. Not everybody's meant to watch the video, not everyone's meant to stay till the end. That's because some people might watch it with a question mark over their head, like, what is this hoe talking about? And that's just because, well, sometimes you just don't, you just don't get things that you haven't went through yet. That's why, like, again, you're like, some people, they're meant to meet you at a certain point in your life, or like, how do I say this correctly for me? Like, you have to meet me after you've went through like certain things in life to fully understand like the depth, because that's what my character is all about. It's about a depth that not everyone is willing to go on, a depth that some people try to push to the side and ignore. That's why there's some people I'm their cup of tea, and for some people I'm their poison. Why? Because maybe I talk about things that are touchy sometimes. I talk about things that some people aren't ready to actually like listen or speak about for them within themselves, and that's fine. Like, it's okay, you could go, like, it's okay, come back later whenever you're ready. And that's what it's about. It's about some people in life, you meet them when they're not ready, and sometimes you just have to let them go and come back when the time is right. But at the end of the day, you shouldn't have to sit there and try to force a change on someone. At the end of the day, if you sit there with your words and you try to help them and make them come to understandings, you've done your part. Now it's up for them to do the rest of the work. So you just let them go, babe. Let them go and let them come back when they're ready, because I promise you, if they come back, they're going to be thanking you for the things that you are doing. And that's my message for today, because I feel like I'm freestyling right now, and I feel like I'm getting very tired from talking so fast. And that's all I have to say for today. So I'm going to catch you guys in the next video, and yeah, ciao, ciao.